Picture this. It's a sticky summer evening in 2029, deep in the heart of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where the air hangs heavy with the scent of pine and gun oil. The grand auditorium of the base's officers' club is packed tighter than a foxhole under fire. Crystal chandeliers cast a warm glow over long oak tables laden with silverware that clinks like distant artillery. Generals in starched dress blues, their chests weighed down by rows of ribbons that tell tales of wars long faded, mingle with colonels whose egos could fill the room twice over. Laughter rolls like thunder, but it's the kind that hides a storm sharp, judgmental, ready to strike. Into this lion's den steps Captain Elena Ramirez, tray balanced in her calloused hands like it's just another rucksack on a long march. She's in her mid-30s, her dark hair pulled back in a no-nonsense bun, her uniform plain as desert sand, no flashy pins, no tailored edges to catch the eye. She moves with the quiet grace of someone who's stared down worse than a room full of brass, serving iced tea and bourbon to men and women who command battalions but couldn't spot real grit if it saluted them. Why's a woman with a chest full of unseen scars playing waitress? That's the question nobody's asking yet, but it's the fuse that's about to light this powder keg. Colonel Marcus Hale spots her first. He's a bull of a man, face carved from granite by decades of barking orders in places like Fallujah and Kabul. But tonight his eyes narrow with that old-school disdain for anyone who doesn't fit his square-peg worldview. "Get out there and fetch the damn appetizers," he growls to his aide, loud enough for the whole hall to hear. The room erupts in chuckles, the kind that spread like wildfire in dry grass. Elena's jaw tightens just a fraction as she sets a tumbler in front of General Harlan Thorpe, the silver fox at the head table with eyes like chipped flint. Her collar slips a hair, and there it is a glint of polished silver, the Medal of Honor tucked away like a guilty secret. Thorpe freezes, his liver-spotted hand hovering midair. He surges to his feet, chair scraping like nails on a chalkboard, his voice booming over the din. Who in God's name turns a war-zone legend into a glorified busboy? The laughter chokes off mid-breath. Thorpe's pause, glasses clink to a halt. Elena straightens, tray still gripped like a shield, her brown eyes locking onto the room not with fire, but with the cold certainty of someone who's pulled triggers in the dead of night. She's 5'6" of coiled wire, looking every bit the outsider in this sea of polished egos, but she doesn't flinch. She's been the lesser, Beforian briefings where her voice got drowned out, in after-action reports where her kills got credited to the guy with the bigger mustache. The smirks start small, from the colonels and aides decked out like they're auditioning for a parade. A young major, Lydia Grant, all sharp cheekbones and blonde hair yanked back so tight it looks like it hurts, leans in with a honeyed sneer. "Oh, Ramirez, honey, stick to pouring," commands a man's game. Her words drip like syrup over razor blades, and the table laps it up. A fresh-faced lieutenant, his uniform so starched it could slice bread, chimes in. "Hey, Captain, you moonlighting for the mess hall? They hiring vets these days?" The room roars, the sound bouncing off the vaulted ceilings like ricocheting rounds. Elena places another glass down, her movements precise as a sniper's breath steady, unhurried. Her knuckles blanch against the tray's edge, but her face? It's a fortress, calm as the eye of a hurricane. She weaves through the tables, boots whispering on the polished hardwood, each step measured like she's crossing a minefield. A captain with slicked back hair and a smirk that screams daddy's money leans forward. "Ramirez, that uniform swallow you whole? Borrow it from your kid brother." Another, a wiry major with a voice like gravel in a tin can, piles on. "What's a skirt like you doing in here anyway? Lost your way to the kitchen." The laughter swells, bolder now, a feeding frenzy of cruelty. Elena's hand brushes the worn leather bracelet on her wrist, faded tag etched with Sergeant Javier Ruiz, Kia 2025. She traces the letters for a split second, a ghost of a touch, then keeps moving. Over at the next cluster, a colonel with a barrel chest and ribbons for days mutters loud enough to carry. Look at her, pinning on medals like costume jewelry. Thinks she's fooling anyone. But Elena? She doesn't bite. Not yet. Her posture's a quiet rebellion, shoulders square under the weight of stares that strip her bare, judging her as the token woman, the diversity checkbox, the pretty face who stumbled into their club. She's heard it all before, in the dust-choked valleys of Helmand Province back in 25, where she was just a lieutenant fresh from West Point. Family legacy be damned her, dad a small-town sheriff who'd scraped by on pride, not privilege. That day in the ambush, convoy pinned in a wadi under a sky-spitting lead, she'd hauled 3 brothers out of a burning Bradley, her M4 barking until the insurgents broke. 12 down, by her count. No cameras, no fanfare, just blood and the echo of screams. The brass back home buried it deep, whispers of optics, and not the right story. So she carried on, silent as the grave. The barbs keep flying, uglier with every round of drinks. A lieutenant with too much cologne and not enough sense slurs. Silver Star? More like participation trophy. Bet she got it for showing up. A woman at the end of the table, nails lacquered blood red, coos. Sweetie, why don't you find something simpler? Like filing. Elena's lips twitch, not a smile, but a flicker of something lethal. She sets down a pitcher, her eyes scanning the room like she's plotting fields of fire. Not angry, not broken, just waiting. General Thorpe's watching her now, those gray eyes unblinking, piecing together the puzzle. When she places his drink, that silver edge catches the light again. Medal of Honor, he murmurs, voice low but slicing the air like a bayonet. I signed that citation myself. Elena Ramirez, the ghost of Helmand. The room hushes, a collective inhale. Colonel Hale snorts, chair groaning under his bulk. Bull, a girl like her? Probably bought it off eBay. Murmurs ripple agreement from the skeptics, uneasy shifts from the rest. Thorpe's brow furrows, deep lines etching like battle scars. I remember the face. The report, single-handed, through hellfire saved a platoon. A major in a loud tie barks a laugh. Come on, sir, you're swallowing this fairy tale? She's a desk jockey in fatigues. His cronies clap, treating it like open mic night. Elena's gaze flicks to him, cool as a winter dawn. Ever pulled a trigger under fire, Major? Or just push papers from the rear? The words land like a flashbang. The Major's fork clatters, his flush creeping up like a rash. No answer, just fidgeting hands and averted eyes. The laughter sputters, replaced by a thick, oily silence. Nobody saw that coming from the waitress. A drunk lieutenant lurches up, chair screeching. Let's cut the crap here on some woke quota, not merit. Snickers bubble up, heads nodding like bobbleheads. Elena pauses, tray hovering, and turns full on him, stepping close enough that he reeks of her resolve. Quota. Her voice is velvet over steel, each syllable deliberate. I dragged my squad from a kill zone while you were safe at home. What did you haul today, Lieutenant? Your excuses? He deflates like a punctured tire, sinking back with a mumble. The room's energy cracks, tension coiling like a spring. Whispers turn to hisses. Did she really? Thorpe reaches for his briefcase, the old leather creaking like bones. He flips it open, pulls a red-stamped folder and slides it across the damask cloth. Helmand, Summer 25. Ring any bells? Pages fan out. Typed debriefs. Pixelated drone stills of a dust storm lit by muzzle flashes. A hand-scrawled map bleeding red ink. Captain Ramirez neutralized 14 hostiles. Evac the wounded under direct fire. Convoy intact because of her. His eyes pin Hale like a butterfly to corkboard. Not hype. Not handouts. Stone-cold fact. Grant's porcelain mask cracks, her knuckles bone white on the table edge. Hale's jaw works like he's chewing glass, words dying, unspoken. Thorpe turns to Elena, voice softening just a notch. Why bury it, Captain? Why let them grind you down? She meets his stare, unflinching. I don't fight for pity, sir. Or parades. The air thickens, electric with the unsaid. How many heroes get erased because they don't play the game? Don't kiss the right rings? Outside, junior officers cluster by the French doors, voices low and venomous. A buzz-cut second lieutenant mutters, no waste inflating it for clout. His buddy, a clipboard-clutching type with a perpetual scowl, nods. Politics. They're shoving her down our throats to look progressive. Elena catches it as she hauls the empty tray toward the kitchen, her steps faltering just a beat. She adjusts the creased photo in her pocket, her platoon, grins cracked under Kevlar, dust-caked in that godforsaken wadi. The voices chase her like smoke, but she shoves through the swinging doors, grip iron on the memento. Back in the hall, Hale's not done, his bellow rises like bile. If she's such a saint, why no ticker tape? Why slinging drinks like a peon? Grant smirks, leaning back. Maybe the hero story's got more holes than a sieve. The poison spreads whispers of political pet, valor for votes, slept her way to the star. A captain with a Rolex that screams new money sneers. Bet they pinned it on to muzzle the complaints. You know how they handle strong women, pat him on the head and shut him up. Elena's hand ghosts her collar, hiding the metal again, not out of shame, but to steady the storm inside. She sets a water carafe down slow, giving the room every chance to choke on its own bile. The laughs thin out, frayed at the edges, doubt creeping in like fog off the Cape Fear River. A gravel-voiced major leans in. Word is, String's got Pool Daddy's connections or some sugar. His table-mate, bun so tight it pulls her eyebrows skyward, adds with a fake simper. Yeah, or other favors. Women don't earn that the hard way. Nervous titters ripple, but the room's fracturing hose the punchline now. Elena's lips thin to a blade. She lifts the tray, not fleeing, just grounding herself in the rhythm of the ordinary. Fina clink, sharp as a spent casing. A flustered A drops his Mont Blanc, the pen skittering under her boot. He dives for it, mumbling sorries, but freezes as his fingers brush her cuff. That patch 3 RD Battalion, Hellman Vets. His eyes bug wide. Ma'am, you were there. With the Dust Devils. Head swivel, confusion knitting brows. Elena nods once, face a locked vault. The kid's voice quavers. My cousin was in that convoy. Said an angel in camis yanked him from the wreck. Fired like the devil himself. Silence crashes down, heavy as flak jackets. Elena hands back the pen. Tell him I'm glad he walked away. She turns, tray level, steps unyielding like she's marching through the memory of that wadi all over again. The doors swing wide, admitting a silver-haired civilian in his 60s, suit cut sharp but subtle, tablet in hand like a smoking gun. The room's too busy gnawing its own tail to notice, but Thorpe gives a curt nod. The man Dr. Elias Monroe, survivor of that 25 Inferno, plants the tablet and taps play. Grainy drone feed blooms. A figure in scorched gear sprints through a bullet blizzard, rifle spitting fire, hauling a limp soldier to cover, then another, then a third. Zoom in Elena's face, streaked with grit and resolve, unmistakable even in hell's own highlight reel. The clip ends on her last mag dump, insurgents scattering like roaches. Dead quiet. Monroe's whisper cracks it. That's why I'm breathing. She dragged me out. Grant's grip creaks the table. Hale's face blooms crimson, eyes darting for escape. A grizzled sergeant major lurches up, his chair a thunderclap. I was there too, in that meat grinder. Saw her shield my platoon sergeant from an RPG blast pulled him from the flames. He jabs a finger at Elena, voice gravel rough but breaking. Never caught your name, Captain, but that grit? Burned in my brain. He snaps a salute, slow and sacred, and something shifts like tectonic plates grinding underfoot. A few heads duck, shame-hot cheeks burning. Elena doesn't glance at the screen. She lives it nightly in sweat-soaked dreams. Her fingers ghost a glass rim, steady as prayer. Thorpe's voice lashes out. This is the fraud you're roasting? The one who bled for your safe seats. He hurls a dossier mails, wire transfers, redacted memos onto the table, pages fluttering like indictments. Hale buried her file for kickbacks from contractors. Kept his promotion lane clear. Monroe pipes up, voice wobbling but stealing. Grant doctored the logs, admitted it over drinks. Said it'd protect the narrative. Chaos erupts. Shouts, fingers jabbing, chairs shoved back. Hale's pallor goes ghostly, fists knuckling the arms like lifelines. Grant gapes, speechless as a gut-punched fish. Elena lifts her chin, eyes flashing like muzzle bursts. They didn't fear my weakness. They feared I'd eclipse their whole damn pantheon. A reporter slips in then, badge swinging like a noose brunette with hungry eyes and a phone already recording. She's been eavesdropping the melee from the hall, scenting blood. Captain Ramirez. True, you've sandbagged your record for years. The scrum pivots, guilt and gawking mingling. Elena drifts to the tall windows, back to the fray, moonlight silvering the pines beyond. The hack presses, the public's got a right, Elena wheels, gaze pinning her like crosshairs. Public wants truth? Here it is. But I didn't bleed for clicks or headlines. The phone dips, the room reels, her words a gut punch echoing off the rafters. The venom surges back, desperate now. Grant shrills. She's Steel S. Thorpe's mistress. That's the real cover. Hale hammers the oak. Tribunal. Yank her bars expose the sham. A smattering of nods. Cowards cloaking in the herd. But the media swarm outside flashes like paparazzi lightning headlines already viral. Female officer fakes glory? Diversity darling's dark secret? Elena stands epicenter, spine ramrod, slinging her battered canvas duffel with a casual flick that hushes the din. No flight. No flinch, just presence. Raw and unyielding. A raw-boned sergeant, barely 21, edges up as she pivots from the table, hands tremble but jaw set. Ma'am, basic training tales. They said a woman ghosted a Taliban nest in Helmand. 14 down. That you? Eyes lock on her. The room leans in, some scoffing, others hooked. Elena's mask softens a whisker, fishes the platoon pick from her pocket, passes it over. That's us. We all bled that day. He pores over the faded faces, breath hitching, then returns it like holy relic. Thank you. For everything. She tucks it away, face hardening anew, and the murmurs hush, as if seeing her really seeing for the first time. Doors bang open again. In strides a man in his late 30s, built like a linebacker gone civilian plain gray suit straining at the shoulders, face calm as a millpond, but carrying the weight of unspoken storms. No need for intros. The air sucks taut. Thorpe rises. Mr. Ramirez. Elena's husband, former Delta, now private security, doesn't speak. He ghosts to her side, fingers grazing hers in a touch that's anchor and spark. Grant's eyes bulge. Hale's paws shake, throat bobbing silent. The smirking captain from earlier averts his gaze, ears scarlet. The vibe flips sucked dry of oxygen, egos gasping. An old bird colonel, hair snow white, knuckles gnarled from nom gripes, shuffles from the shadows. Unseen till now, his rasp cuts clean. I mentored your old man back in the day. He bragged about a girl who'd smoke us all. Brows furrow, Elena's duffel strap bites her palm. She nods, tight-lipped. Said she'd make him hang his head in pride. Today proves it. His salute's deliberate, arthritic but iron, and Elena's eyes prickle blinked away fast, posture unbowed. Silence thunders louder than any retort. The hammer drops swift. MPs cuff Hale mid-denial, frog marching him out to jeers and flashes alerts buzzing. Colonel nabbed in graft sting. Grant's contractor gigs evaporate by dawn, her mug trending toxic. The quota joker? Reassigned to Alaska's armpit, feeds flooded with backlash. Monroe, voice newfound, corners ears with his rescue yarn. Pundits pivot, hidden hero unearthed, to brass betrayal rocks ranks. Elena skips the feeds, striding out with her man, his palm a warm steady against hers. In the corridor, a janitor in Civia's mid-40s, cart rattling freezes, mop forgotten. You're her, right? The Hellman phantomy nephew's drill tales. Elena halts, duffel light on her shoulder. No yes, no just a nod. The woman's face splits in awe, hand fluttering to Elena's sleeve. He enlisted cause of whispers like yours. Says you're why he fights. Elena's mouth quirks, faint as dawn. Tell him. Eyes open. Always. Tears bead. Elena presses on, her husband's quiet bulk a bulwark. Cut to 3 days later, the training range at Bragg's Edge, dawn haze clinging to the sandpits, wind whipping red dirt devils. Hale's holdouts, scrambling for scraps of face, lob one final grenade. No dame fires a .50, it's physics, not fairy dust. Grant, career in freefall, had flung the Barrett onto the ammo crate pre-ouster. Prove it, Fraude fold. Officers ring the firing line, faces a cocktail of skepticism and schadenfreude. Monroe hovers peripheral, pockets jammed, murmuring, Don't, Elena. It's beneath you. She doesn't reply, just shoulders the beast. 50 pounds of recoil-hungry thunder her grip innate, like slipping into an old boot. The target's a ghost at 1,600 meters, mirage shimmer faint. Wind gusts, flags snapping frantic. Elena pauses, gaze snagging the stars and stripes jerking on its pole. Echoes hit her 25 again, smoke thick as lies, that flag patch her North Star amid the chaos. She'd squeezed then for the brothers at her flank, not glory. Now, the gallery holds breath, doubts a palpable fog. She exhales slow, form a statue trigger caress, and crack. The report shatters the morning, a sonic boom rolling over the pines. Dead center, steel heart punched clean. Gasps, then roar claps thundering like barrage. Thorpe advances, face granite but gaze alight. Not some server. This is your medal of honor earned in blood. Elena racks the slide, expression serene, eyes hawk-sharp. No grin. The proof's in the hole, the hush after. The way stares morph from scorn to salute. A green recruit, fatigue stiff as cardboard, pushes forward, voice a quiver. Ma'am, I want to be you. Out there. Scoffs from the rear, but the kid's locked in. Elena sets the rifle gentle as a lullaby. Then outdo me, son. Be unbreakable. He squares up, retreating taller. The officers stir respect grudging in some. Unease in Othyrsa's Elena shoulders her duffel, fading into the treeling. The aftershocks ripple wide. Hill stripes shredded, honors ashes. Grant's saga splays in tabloids, lies vivisected. The pawn caller ghosts his network, stalled in purgatory. Monroe evangelizes her myth now, unprompted. Buzz shifts seismic. She-warrior shatters glass ceiling her brass conspiracy. Elena? She ghosts the glow, duffel slung. Husband's hand a loose tether as they melt into the base's bustle. By the motor pool, fresh boots and rank skids with fire in their veins snap to. A braided private breaks form, saluting tentative. Elena wheels, returns at crisp tender. The girl's beam splits wide, squad eyes trailing as they vanish down the gravel path. No words needed, her shadows the sermon, spine straightening in her wake. Flashback. Elena at 19, fatigues drowning her frame in a Carolina backwater, rifle a stranger in shaky grips. Dad's lessons stand tall, speak sparse carried her through the suck, the betrayals, the rooms that saw air where heroes stood. Now, under that same low sun, she feels no shift, no vindication's rush. Just Elena, bullet runner, brother hauler, hater's bane. The gallery watches her recede, murmurs dissolving on the breeze. She doesn't pivot, truth's loose now, a wildfire no lie can quench. Approval? Pity? Never craved him. She acted 'cause it was right bone deep, unshakable. Folks, we've all tasted that room, the side-eye, the shove down, the not enough, that sticks like burrs. Elena's grind? It's ours, mirrored back fierce. You kept trucking through it, didn't you? Stood unbowed when they bet on your bend. So hit me in the comments. Ever buried your wins to dodge the wolves? Would you expose the cheats, even if it scorched your world, or play safe and let the rot fester? Does a hero's quiet count louder than a loudmouth's roar? Or is noise the only path to justice? Drop your fire below. Smash that like if her steel stirred yours. And subscribe to ride these raw rides, betrayals bite to breakthroughs blaze. What's your battlefield? Let's unpack it together.